Neil Armstrong, who has etched his name in history books in golden letters, has created one of the turning points in the history of science and humanity as the first man to step on the moon. However, behind the scenes of this historical event, there are a series of events and situations that Armstrong and other astronauts have encountered and perhaps kept from us. So what are these unknowns, and why were these pieces of information kept from the public? When you close your eyes and think about the moon using your imagination, what do you see? Probably a rocky surface, captivating craters, and an endless silence. But have you ever thought that on the surface of the moon, there may be precious and extremely rare elements that are invisible to the naked eye? This claim is much more than any science fiction scenario you've encountered before, and according to some, NASA and other space agencies could be keeping this from us. The subject of the moon being a rich source of helium-3 has long been discussed in scientific circles. This isotope, which is extremely rare on Earth, could be more common on the moon's surface and could be used as a potential fuel source in nuclear fusion energy production. Imagine this revolution in energy production would open the doors to an entirely new era of energy. However, as exciting as this theory is, in reality, we face a series of technical and economic challenges. Firstly, contrary to what is thought, the amount of helium-3 on the moon's surface may be insufficient to meet the amount needed for nuclear fusion. Moreover, the technology and infrastructure needed to bring helium-3 from the moon to Earth and use it for energy production are not yet available. According to some, these challenges and uncertainties are the main reasons why space agencies refrain from informing us about this valuable resource. Is this situation really a conspiracy theory, or just the result of technical and economic difficulties that cannot be overcome? What are the truths about the hidden resources on the moon? How much do we know, and how much is still hidden? All these questions increase the mystery surrounding the theory of hidden resources on the moon, and these issues being discussed in the scientific world continue to remain as a series of secrets waiting to be resolved. These claims about hidden lunar resources are just the beginning of secrets that might be hidden on the moon, because the rumors focus not only on underground riches, but also on UFO claims. For many, this may seem like something out of science fiction novels. Yes, we're talking about astronauts' encounters with UFOs. Claims that the astronauts who set foot on the moon observed UFOs have drawn the attention of many conspiracy theorists. For instance, Buzz Aldrin, an astronaut on the Apollo 11 mission, confessed in a television interview that they saw an object moving towards the spaceship they were traveling into the moon. This incident was interpreted as them having seen a UFO, but Aldrin later denied these interpretations, explaining that what they saw was probably a panel that had detached from the spacecraft. Radio communication recordings alleged to involve Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin talking about a light appearing on the horizon during the Apollo 11 mission also serve as evidence to this claim. There are also reports alleging that Armstrong saw two large, menacing-looking UFOs from the surface of the moon. NASA usually dismisses such claims as optical illusions or faulty observations. NASA also says that all audio and video recordings of all Apollo missions have been extensively examined, and in none of them do the astronauts state that they observed UFOs either on the moon or while descending to the moon. Theories about UFO sightings, no matter how exciting they may be, are often devoid of concrete evidence. However, a more tangible topic of debate is about the actual structure of the lunar surface. Many people believe that the surface of the moon is much more complex and perhaps mysterious than we expect. The initial missions to the moon showed that the surface was a dusty and cratered terrain. This has been a fact known to all of us, especially from the moments the first astronauts stepped foot on the moon. However, many conspiracy theorists and even some scientists claim that the lunar surface is in fact far more complex than this simple description. These theories usually focus on potential cave systems under the lunar surface, water ice, or perhaps different types of minerals and elements. For instance, in 2008, India's Chandrayaan-1 probe detected the presence of water ice in the shadowy regions of craters located in the moon's polar regions. This finding suggests that the moon's surface may be more complex than we think. Moreover, some theories go even further, claiming that there are unknown structures or even artificial objects not native to the moon under its surface. some even suggest that the samples studied by the astronauts on the moon are materials not native to the lunar surface and were brought by an extraterrestrial civilization. These are, of course, mere speculations, and it's very difficult to confirm them with our current knowledge. However, these and similar theories about the lunar surface demonstrate how much the moon remains a little known and yet to be explored place. Future missions to the moon may help us answer these questions, and perhaps the lunar surface might be hiding much more than we think. Furthermore, connections have been made between debates about the real structure of the lunar surface and mysterious structures on the moon. You might have heard claims of structures on the moon that are not man-made, that is, belonging to alien life. This is commonly referred to as the moon base theory. There are many photographs and videos of ambiguous objects and structures on the moon, and some see these as evidence of an advanced civilization on the moon. A video claimed to be from the Apollo 20 mission in particular, which went viral on YouTube, has fueled these speculations even more. The video shows astronauts discovering a massive spaceship remnant on the lunar surface. However, NASA has completely dismissed this video as fake, and the 20th mission of the Apollo program never happened. Supporters of the moon base theory claim that Apollo astronauts saw such structures on the moon and kept this information from the public. However, NASA and other space agencies have always pointed out that these claims are always refuted with scientific evidence. So can we come to a definitive conclusion about whether these mysterious lunar structures were really built by aliens? Unfortunately, there is still no definitive evidence to prove or refute this theory. And maybe this is part of the appeal of the moon base theory. After all, the basis of science and discoveries is the curiosity about the unknown and the desire to unravel the secrets behind the questions. Perhaps one day, the secret of these structures on the moon will also be solved. Who knows? Going a step further, the claims that there are structures on the moon that are not human-made are quite striking. However, the claims are not limited to these structures, and some abnormal traces seen on the surface of the moon also arouse curiosity. These theories are usually based on strange shapes and unexplainable traces on the moon's surface. Some of these traces are artificial footprints, vehicle traces, and landing module traces created by astronauts during their descents. However, there is no clear information about the origin of some other traces. These abnormal traces on the moon's surface can be observed through high-resolution images obtained from the satellite. But this method is not used by authorities, and theories are not refuted. While the traces created by astronauts and meteors from other planets can usually be explained, some other traces lead to various conspiracy theories. One of the most known theories is that these traces were created by alien life forms. It is claimed that strange traces and structures seen on the moon's surface were built by an advanced alien civilization, and these traces are the remnants of this civilization. On the contrary, strange traces and structures on the moon's surface are usually explained by natural processes. For instance, the moon's surface has been shaped by millions of years of meteor bombardment, and this bombardment is the main reason for the strange traces and craters on the moon's surface. Also, lava tunnels found on the moon's surface and other natural formations could have contributed to these abnormal traces. Just like the strange traces on the surface of the moon, some low-quality images from the Apollo missions are another source of allegations that astronauts and NASA are hiding something, according to conspiracy theorists. Astronauts returning from the Apollo missions took a series of photos during their descents to the moon's surface and while carrying out their activities on the surface. Many of these photos were of high quality and detailed. However, some were blurry and low quality. These low-quality images aroused suspicion in some eyes, and claims arose that the astronauts or NASA deliberately blurred these photos to hide unknown objects or structures. According to some, these low-quality photos were intentionally blurred to hide alien structures on the moon or other secret objects. On the other hand, there could be a simple explanation for these low-quality photos. Astronauts might not have been able to take a clear photo with a sensitive camera while wearing a heavy spacesuit and moving in the moon's low-gravity environment. In addition, the bright light of the moon's surface and the darkness of the sky could cause the photos to be overexposed or underexposed, which could reduce the quality of the images. However, a lot of clearly taken photos are available, and this situation strengthens the hand of conspiracy theories. Aside from the debates about the photos of the Apollo missions, there is a more disturbing claim. Some information about the health status of the astronauts returning from the moon is being hidden. From the Apollo 11 mission, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin first landed on the moon, the health status of the Apollo astronauts attracted a lot of attention from the public and the scientific community. There were many theories about what kind of effect landing on the moon would have on human health, but it was not possible to determine them definitively before the actual experiences. There were some concerns that the time the astronauts spent on the moon and their contact with lunar dust could have adverse effects on health. Despite these concerns, the general belief is that most of the health problems astronauts experienced after returning from the moon were typically due to the normal aging process or known side effects of spaceflight, such as exposure to radiation. However, some allegations suggest that NASA has not acted with complete transparency on this issue and has hidden some information about the health problems astronauts experienced after returning from the moon. Specifically, there are claims that astronauts who landed on the moon later experienced health problems, such as rare and aggressive types of cancer. Medical privacy makes it difficult to definitively ascertain the validity of such claims. While the claims about the health status of astronauts may still be a matter of debate, there is another risk that the moon poses for humankind: radiation. It is claimed that the potential effects of radiation levels measured on the moon on human health are being hidden. Earth's magnetic field serves as a natural shield that protects humanity from harmful radiation in space. However, there is no such protection on the moon. This situation has raised concerns that astronauts landing on the moon were exposed to high levels of radiation. It is known that astronauts who have set foot on the moon received 200 times the radiation dose received in a year on Earth in just a few days. However, some theories claim that NASA downplayed the effects of the moon's radiation levels and hid the potential effects of astronauts being exposed to radiation levels. According to these theories, the possible effects of radiation can lead to serious health problems, such as genetic damage, cancer, and even central nervous system damage. Nevertheless, NASA's response to these claims is that the radiation levels during the time Apollo astronauts spent on the moon were within acceptable limits. Moreover, it is also stated that continuous research is being conducted on the long-term effects on the health status of astronauts, and this information is shared with the public. Watching the Apollo 11's landing on the moon and the astronauts taking their first steps on the surface was an unforgettable experience for millions of people worldwide. However, a series of doubts and speculations related to the recording and broadcasting of this historical event have brought about many discussions since then. The first and most common speculation is the theory that the landing on the moon was filmed on a Hollywood set and did not actually happen. Some people believe that the movement of the flag on the moon's surface, the inconsistency of Armstrong's shadows, and how these movements could occur in the moon's atmosphere-less environment should be questioned. Another common doubt is that the original moon landing video recordings were lost by NASA. This situation was interpreted by some as an attempt at information concealment and manipulation. However, NASA explained this situation as a technical error and organizational deficiency and later released the re-edited images of the mission. In addition, it was claimed that the live broadcast of the landing was shown entirely in black and white in some countries and in color in others. Although this situation is due to technical differences and broadcasting standards, it has aroused suspicion about whether the landing took place. We have examined a series of speculations and theories about what the first humans to set foot on the moon may have been hiding all these years. These are issues that perhaps the scientific world can illuminate, or they may remain a mystery forever. However, regardless of the outcome, these discussions once again demonstrate the magnitude of humankind's curiosity about the moon and the desire to solve the mysteries there. And we will always turn our eyes to the stars and beyond, hoping to learn the truth behind the mysteries. See you next time.